We're going to talk about how to make a scene over your gradient painting. You might choose to do branches and a bird, or cats, or an owl might be fun, or it's almost October. Here are some examples of what students have done before you. Like the underwater. Here are a couple I found online. So it's a good idea to practice first. Just get yourself a blank piece of paper and a pencil. Kind of put in where your moon ended up. And then start to think about what you might do. I'm going to show you how to do some simple trees as if you're standing on the ground looking up through the trees. So my trunks are wider at the bottom. So when I do a tree trunk, instead of being parallel, the lines are going to spread out a little bit. And branches just are a little practice. Once I have an idea, I'm going to get a messy sheet. I could draw it on top, or I could just go ahead and paint it. You'll be working with black and a thin paintbrush. Take a deep breath and don't talk to your classmates while you work on this. I can keep my practice drawing nearby as a reference, but I'm already doing things a little bit differently because now that I'm feeling what the paint is like, I've changed my mind. I'm working along and I made a mistake. I'm going to turn it into something. Maybe I can turn it into an owl or a bird. I'll come back and revisit that. Here's another one. Maybe I can do kind of a haunted scene. So I'm going to make a house. And notice how I get some of the paint off of the brush just so I can do a thin line, but I will have to reload my brush every time I want to make a line when I'm drawing with the brush. Once I get my basic outline there, I'm just going to set to work. I'm likely to draw my windows and my door in first as a way to kind of hold their place, so when I'm filling in the whole thing with black, I don't accidentally paint over those. If you already have black, like a hillside, you don't have to do this, but if you don't, you can put in some black, and it's really easy to put in a fence with just a line that matches, and then some fence posts. I think I will put in a tree because a tree kind of adds to that look. Again, I'm just kind of imagining where the trunk and the branches might go. I am likely to make a lot of mistakes or unexpected choices that I have to relook at and say, how can I make this better? Because again, you can't really fix this with purple paint because that's a gradient that you already did. So I'll start to fill in the house with much thicker paint, working around those windows that I set aside for myself. I'm thinking I want to do something up on the roof, like a cat. I'm going to get most of the paint off of my brush so I can draw with it. This is a time when you might want to use a pencil first. I kind of wish that I'd used a pencil first. I've got these ears going, but it kind of looks like Mickey Mouse's head on a cat body. Yuck. So I'll have to figure out how to fix that. Colored pencils are your best friend. I can go in with a colored pencil even when the paint is still a little bit wet. And I can make those ears pointy and fill out the face a little bit, and maybe even some of the body. And once I've done those little fixes, I think it turned out okay. And remember the owl, the big blob? I'm going to get a really dry brush and just a pinch of white paint, and I will try to make him 2 tiny little eyes. My first one was a nice dot, my second one was a blob, so I'll make my first one a little blobby too so they match. I'm sure whatever you decide to do on your project, it's going to look wonderful. Take your time and be kind to yourself.